Hello everyone, welcome to my channel Germane Talks, and I hope you would be doing absolutely fantastic. Today we're going to talk about VSOE in conjunction with the contracts negotiation of softwares. So let's get started. So what is VSOE? It is actually a method of revenue recognition in software contracts which was promulgated by AICPA in 1997 under Statement of Position 97.2, which stated about the recognition of revenue in software contracts. Okay, so let me take many steps back and let's spend a minute or two on revenue recognition. So, what is revenue recognition? So, broadly, there are two ways of revenue recognition. One is the cash method, and the second one is the accrual concept. So, within accrual concept, no matter whether you pay like the cash or not, the revenue is recognized subject to certain conditions. Okay, so what are those conditions? Broadly, there are four conditions with a moniker of C, D, E, F. So C, collectibility. The collectibility is assured. D, deliverability. The deliverability of the performance of the party is assured. E, evidence of arrangement. That's there is a valid contract. F, fixed or determinable price. So if all these four conditions are met, the revenue can be recognized. All right. So what is so special about VSOE? VSOE, the AICPA said that going ahead, you will be recognizing the revenue ratably basis the fair proportion of the deliverables in a multi-deliverable contract. So there can be a software contract, and there are actually at enterprise level there are software contracts which have multiple deliverable arrangements. So there is software design, then software build, then software hosting, then software maintenance. So you can see there are four deliverables associated with one contract. And let me tell you what is the general motive of any finance professional, the selling and the salesman, is to front load the P&L as much as possible and to have as smaller payback period and for their own benefits. So that is on the financial side of things, that how to make project more attractive. But how about it if you are on the other side of this table and you're negotiating a contract? Okay, that's interesting. So in that situation, this is a secret weapon. It comes to your rescue during the contracts negotiation of software. So any salesman, any sales professional will try to front load the P&L as much as possible. What do you mean? What do I mean by front load? It means take as much money during the initial period of the deal to make it lucrative. Okay, and also there is even more hidden thing inside that most of the times the sales commission of the sales staff is generally the first fiscal year's recognized revenue. So that is very important. So higher the revenue, higher would be their commission. So they have their own motivations. However, going by the generally accepted accounting principles and IFRS and their statement of position 97.2, it clearly states that there should be a fair value framework which has to be in place in order to recognize the revenue. Okay, so why are we talking this in contracts negotiation? Seems like some out of place. It is actually. Okay, so a couple of times what happens that we get to hear from sales staff while negotiating a contract, oh, you know what, we have to sign this deal by tomorrow and then I can give you 30% discount, or we want to charge you upfront because of our revenue recognition. I said, okay, well, the answer to that is hello, no, that's not the case. Please stop this. Revenue recognition is a completely internal matter of any company. It is inside your own home. it has to be negotiated or it has to be worked upon by your own internal auditors, by GAAP principles, by whatever IFRS now. So many times we, as a contracts negotiator, you may hear these you must be hearing these things. So the first line of defense is this, that listen, the revenue recognition is an outrightly in-house matter and nothing to do in the bid negotiation process. If that line of defense breaks, then VSOE comes to your rescue. Okay, how? So VSOE, actually, you can, the moment you say that, you'll see a different reaction from the other side who is negotiating the selling on the selling side. So VSOE actually ratably recognizes it. It forces the seller to have the revenue as straight line as possible, and not like the front ending or anything. On the contrary, it can go ahead and do the back ending of the P&L, but not the front ending of the P&L. Why? You may think why? Because many times it has so happened that the companies give guidance to the street about inflated revenue, and which the street does not like. The revenue should be actually justified. So VSOE goes in that direction. It intends to establish a fair value concept, a proportional value. So for example, there are 3 or 4 different deliverables within a particular contract. So what happens that, say, let's take a software example, software build and maintenance. There's 2 deliverables, just for simplicity's sake. So if the whole deal is of $100, how much is the standalone fair market value of the software build piece? That will be recognized ratably. What is the standalone fair market value of the maintenance piece? The opposite can come true, like you can back end the P&L but not front end it. So the software building piece, you can spread it ratably over the deal term, and the moment you are spreading the deal, you're talking about spreading the payments, you're actually saving money in the contract by making the deal from capex to opex, and from capex to opex, you're saving a lot of your capital by a lot of your upfront capital being invested, and God forbid if there are no termination protection built in, then your capital is at jeopardy. So VSOE comes as a very at a rescue in these situations, and especially in messy contracts where a software build and software maintenance and things like that. Of late, I have even heard that in software service SaaS contracts, the vendors try to bill it upfront, which is outrightly should not be the case. Also, billing and recognizing the revenue are 2 different things. However, if the billing and recognizing the revenue can go like synchronized in a synchronized fashion, that's perfectly fine. So this is a small video. I hope you liked the content of it, and in case if you have understood, and if you like this video, please share, and I'll wait for your comments. Thank you very much.